Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is all going to be about how do you structure your VSL to bring in high ticket clients in 2024 and beyond. The reason why I'm making this video is because over the past couple of months and even years, I've realized that every single client that came into our agency, into our company, and also some of our most profitable clients, the one mechanism that they've all used, that we've all leveraged to help them grow and get clients over and over again, and even to help scale our company, was really to leverage a video sales letter, which stands for a VSL, which stands for video sales letter. And in this video, I really want to break down how do you structure yours to make it perform the best. Because if you think about it, having a VSL is kind of like having a sales agent that never sleeps and that's able to talk about what you do in a way that's the most compelling and that's the most effective, and that turn interested prospect into warm and ready to buy prospect that are actually looking to pull the trigger and work with you. And so it's really worth the investment in time to think about how do I craft a messaging, how do I structure my video sales letter in a way that's going to be engaging, compelling, and value driven enough for people to watch the entire thing and take action at the end of it. And this episode is going to be extremely valuable for you if you are someone that's selling high ticket offer and you're tired of having people get on the call with you and asking you some very basic question about who you are, what you do, what makes your offer different. And you are also tired of having a low shop rate on your calls because people schedule a call and next thing you know, they don't shop and you're like, oh my God, what happened? I've made a video where I went over how do we reduce the no-shows on your calls and how do you increase your shop rate on your calls. And I'm going to leave that video somewhere in this video. And I highly invite you to watch that video after watching this one, because the two really work together to really not only get more qualified prospect on the call and get them show up at a higher rate. So without any further ado, let's dive into the specifics of how you go about creating a powerful, compelling, and high converting video sales letter. And now, before we do, if it's the first time we meet and you have no clue who I am Joly Tematio. I run dragonconsulting.co. We are an advertising firm that helps businesses, specifically info product businesses, scale in income and impact using social media ads. And over the past 4 years, we've worked with hundreds of businesses, helping them scale to multiple 6-figure, 7-figure month mark. And one thing that we've done over and over again to get clients to come to us and work with us is really to leverage the power of video sales letter. And at this point, we've actually created over 80 video sales letter for our clients to help them sell their high ticket coaching offers. So I know a thing or two about what's required to make one perform at a high level. So if you like this type of content, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss the next one that's coming up every single week on the channel. Let's dive into it. This training is going to be structured in 3 main parts. We're going to start by really discussing what's the goal of having a VSL, which is the video sales letter in the first place. Secondly, we're going to go over what's the page structure that you want ideally your VSL to have to really drive the best conversion. And then third, we'll really discuss what's the framework and the flow that your VSLs should follow, and what are some of the elements that should be included in each of the section of your VSL. So a VSL is actually, when you talk about an offer-centric VSL, it's essentially a VSL, a video sales that's designed to highlight the core component of your offer, right? So your offer here will be the headline of the VSL. What are they gaining to work with you, to listen to your message? And you want to think about here, okay, what's the one thing that my market desire more than anything else, right? And this works actually extremely well if you're selling a high ticket product in the B2B or in the B2C space, where you are in very solution aware markets, where you actually need to differentiate yourself, and where just having a claim and just throwing a claim at the wall doesn't really work. With the VSL, you actually explain what makes your offer unique, what makes your offer different, because chances are your target audience has been exposed to similar offers like yours for over the past years, and they're a bit jaded. So you want to come up and say, okay, we have this new unique mechanism that we are currently using to help you achieve the desired result, and here's how it looks like. And today, to be honest, no matter in which niche you operate, chances are that your market has some level of saturation, that your target audience is quite sophisticated. So you need to display your expertise in a way that's more compelling, and that's really the beauty of using a VSL to make that happen. And so the ultimate goal of your VSL here should really be to create the following epiphany inside of your prospect mind, right? So the first one is you want to have your prospect thinking, oh my gosh, this is what I've been missing. This is why what I've tried in the past hasn't really worked, right? You want them to think, okay, this is what I need to get to my desired goal, right? And I realized that I realized why everything that I've tried in the past hasn't really worked, and why this is going to be different. I realized why this is going to be different and allow me to achieve that result that I've been craving for, right? And also, it has to come across as a no-brainer. So whatever offer you make to your prospects on that VSL should be, oh my God, I need to have this thing right now because it's such an opener, right? And I can clearly see how it works, and this is what I need right now. If you instill this belief in your prospect, that's the goal. So at the end of the VSL, your prospect should have this feeling ingrained in their brain. And the way in which we're gonna go about structuring the VSL is what's going to allow us to make that happen, right? And I really love this quote by Jayton Bird, which is one of the legend when it comes to the advertising space and the marketing space. He said, advertising work best if you promise people something they want, not as many imagine if you are clever, original, or shocking, right? So the goal of the VSL is really to lead with clarity. If you are trying to overwhelm or impress or use an extremely sophisticated language in your VSL, chances are you're gonna have your prospect feeling like, okay, that was good, but I can't really piece out everything which I've learned. They're going to be a bit confused in terms of what you've shared with them. So you really want to be able to lead with clarity and lead with what they truly want, what they truly desire, which lead me to our VSL page structure. Now, the VSL page structure is how you want the layout of your page, the funnel or the landing page where your VSL is going to be hosted. You want it to look like this. So you can start by calling out at the top of the page. Want to call out your target audience, your most ideal clients. So let's say that you are working with coaches and consultants, you will say, attention coaches and consultants. If you are working with, let's say you are working with mom entrepreneur, you will say, this is only for the eyes of mom entrepreneur. If you are working with fitness enthusiasts or fitness owner, you can say, okay, this is only for attention fitness business owner, for instance. So really think, okay, what's my most ideal client and how do they call themselves? So you call them out in the first line of your page. Then you go with the headline. So that's kind of the call out section of your page. And then we have the headline. Now the headline is really where you want to immediately focus on the most emotionally compelling detail of your offer, right? What's the one big thing that your market wants? What's the mass market desire? That's extremely key, because once you're able to lead with that thing that your market wants, that they typically desire, it's going to make them pay attention. They're going to be hooked. So your offer has to be around that desire, right? And then you have a subheadline that comes right below the subheadline. Now, I love the subheadline because it's one of those things that most advertisers and marketers don't typically use, but it's the little thing that makes your whole thing convert even better, because on the subheadline you're actually addressing the objections, right? Or you are adding some sort of guarantee, right, to make them pay attention to the rest. Because typically what happens is that the headline has that big bold claim and they're like, oh yeah, of course, and they don't really trust you. But with the subheadline you address the most common objections, or you actually add the guarantee that's going to make them think, okay, this person is willing to bet and guarantee these things, then maybe it's worth listening to what she or he has to say. Or you can add, some handling the objection in a way that they think, okay, if they understand what I've already tried, let me see what else they're going to offer me. Let's say, for instance, you are a fitness coach, right? And you are maybe a keto. We were working with a keto, a coach that was helping people lose weight using a keto diet, right? And you know that your target market, maybe they've tried intermittent fasting, they've tried some very restrictive diet. They think they need to go and have some really high intensity workout. They need to spend hours in the gym. And so when you write your headline, you have your headline that has maybe, here's how you can lose X amount of fat in this amount of time, right, using this keto diet. And you know that automatically what going to come up for them is, okay, but I've tried keto and I've tried the intermittent fasting, I've tried restrictive diet, I've tried starving myself, I've tried spending hours in the gym and nothing really has worked. And so you want to see, even if you've tried X, Y, and Z, right? So that's really the idea here, is handling those objections. So underscore really the most valuable benefit of that deal. So you can again handle the objection, or just add the guarantee. And the guarantee here can be, or you don't pay, or you pay nothing, or you don't pay penny until whatever desire they are going to achieve, or whatever result they are trying to achieve. So until you've achieved this result. And you can really get creative. So we had, for instance, a client that was working with Amazon automation businesses, and what he would say was, okay, we are going to build your store and get it to at least generating $20,000 per month minimum, or if we don't in the first 90 days, we buy we buy your store back. So that was kind of a no-brainer for the client because they were like, okay, I'm going to invest in this thing, and if I'm not able to make 20K per month, these guys are going to buy back my stuff, my store, and give me back my money anyway. So it was like, okay, I'm not losing anything. So think through that in creative where you can actually drive result and get them hooked. And then the last thing that you want to have on your page on the VSL is a CTA button, a call to action button designed to get them to apply. And then once they apply, schedule a call to speak with you. So now we've gone through the VSL page structure. Let's do a deep dive into the framework and the flow that you want your VSL to follow to drive the best result in terms of conversions, right? We start with a strong hook. Very important. It's typically the first 3 to 5 seconds of your VSL. That's really where you can get all those them, right? This is where you actually want to call out your most ideal client, be specific, like we've mentioned earlier. You want to have it at the top of your page, but also in the word that you say. So who are they specifically, right? Maybe they are a content creator that's wanting to, maybe you can say something like, if they're a content creator wanting to scale their business, you can say, are you a content creator stuck between 10K to 20K per month and looking to get to the next level, right? If maybe you are in the real estate coaching space and you help people scale their coaching real estate business, you can say, if you're a realtor closing at least 1 deal per month on home above $500,000 and you want to increase your deal size by 3 or by 5, listen up. So again, we are calling out those people. So if you are, insert the ideal client persona. So, or are you, insert ideal client persona, right? And then you want to move into their problem. So what are some of the challenges they desire, or the mass market desire, yes. So the reason why this is important, because people are only going to pay attention to you if what you have to share with them is in line with whatever they're going through. Like, I think it's Dan Kennedy that said that you want to enter the conversation that's already going on inside your prospect mind. And people are always thinking about themselves and their challenges, their problems, their pain, their frustration, or their desire, right? So if you want to capture their attention, you want to highlight those things. So what's your market biggest problem? What's the biggest desire, right? So you might say, if you've been struggling to generate more than 10 to 20 calls per month for your offer, listen up. If you want to go from 40,000 40% of your PNL going to marketing to only 20% while scaling your ad spend profitably, here's what you need to know. Right? If you are using tons of sales due to common objection of XYZ, the next 10 minutes are going to be the most important that you invest in your business. So listen up. So those are different frameworks that you see that you are using to highlight either the biggest pain points or the mass market desire. And I love this approach because it's really subtle, and I use this a lot whenever I'm creating our own VSL for our company, or we are working with clients to help them scale, because it calls out your audience, but also qualifies them based on the biggest pain point that you know that they have, right? Because if someone doesn't relate to this, they're going to tune out, they're going to leave, and that's what you want. But if that's actually your ideal client, they're going to stay and pay attention to the rest of the VSL, and that's critical, right? And so the more specific you can get here, the better, because the more compelling your VSL is going to be, and it's going to perform at even a higher rate. And you're also going to end up getting a lot of qualified call schedule, which is going to lead to a higher conversion, a higher closing rate on the back end when your sales team get on call with them, right? So that's the first part. The second part is having a juicy offer, right? Now, by juicy, I mean your offer needs to highlight one of the most emotionally compelling details that your target audience want. Right? So you want to highlight in your offer, you don't want to talk about everything that you are going to do for them. You want to think, what's the biggest transformation that I can deliver on, that I can promise and deliver on? Because if you try to highlight everything that you're going to do for them, you are going to overwhelm them. They're going to be like, oh my God, that's too much. So at that stage, you just highlight what's the biggest, what you want to speak to, the strongest desire that your market has, and nothing else, right? And I really can't stress this enough, because I don't care really if on the back end you help your client with more things and you give them tons of stuff. In your marketing, you must always speak to the one big thing, like the big domino of the thing that they actually want. Because again, you want to remember that you are selling them what they want and you give them what they need. For instance, if you're helping people maybe with the social media, maybe they think, okay, I need to have more followers, I need to have more views, because they think, if I had more followers, if I had more engagement on my content, I'll make more sales. And as an expert, you know, okay, they need more than that. They need to have a strong offer. They need to have an email list. They need to know how to, what to sell and how to talk to their audience in a way that converts their followers into clients. Because ultimately, if they want the view, but they want the view to ultimately convert those viewers into buyers. But in your client minds, they might think, oh, I just need some more view. I just need more followers. And so if you tell them about, oh, you need an email list and you need to all of those things and you need to set up your system, they're not going to be interested. You want to talk about what they truly desire and then sell them on what, and then give them what they actually need, right? So take, for instance, for us as well as an example, we help our client with offer creation, repositioning, advertising, booking calls, you know, nurturing the leads via email, via SMS marketing system, sales funnel optimization, etc., etc. But on our ads and on our VSL, on our messaging, we don't talk about those things, right? We don't even talk about the support calls or the email or anything. We talk about what they truly desire, which is scaling the income, scaling the impact, you know, having done for you call schedule on the calendar on autopilot. That's why we emphasize. Why? Because that's what our target audience want. That's what business owner want, and they believe that they need those things. So they need much more than that, but that's what, and we provide much more than that to them, but we just don't, because they just want to have a field calendar. That's what we emphasize on our marketing. So think through the same lens for your offer, and what's the biggest thing that you offer to your client that's in line with their strongest desire, and highlight that in your offer. The third step of your VSL is actually having a bold guarantee, because whenever you make a big claim, like, okay, I'm going to give you this massive thing, they're going to be skeptical. They're going to be like, okay, of course, yeah, because chances are they are jaded, right? They've tried something similar to yours in the past, or they've heard some similar claims, and they were like, oh, of course, it didn't work. I wasted my money. I wasted my time. So what you want to do here with the guarantee is really make sure that you eliminating the downside for them and answer the question, okay, what will happen if they don't achieve the outcome that I'm providing? Because that's what's going to be in their mind anyway. So you always want to handle the objection that your prospect has with your marketing and with your messaging. Because as you state your claim, they're going to be like, okay, that's nice, but what happens if I don't achieve that, right? And so here you want to say something like, okay, you either achieve this thing or you don't pay cents, or you achieve this thing, or if you don't at least, here's what we promise, but if you don't at least get this result, we'll refund you in full, no question asked, right? Or you can say something in the lines of, okay, if you don't achieve the big thing, we are legally obligated to refund you what you paid to join, right? No question asked whatever. Or we'll pay you 10K just for wasting your time. Or we'll buy, like I mentioned, we had a client that was having Amazon automations business, and we'll say, okay, we'll buy back your store, right? And so remember that you should, as a business owner, as a founder, you should have enough trust in your skill set and in your offer to have a guarantee. I'm always very reluctant when I come across a business owner that's unwilling to add a guarantee to their offer, because I'm thinking, how do you expect people to trust you if you don't even trust yourself, right? Because adding a guarantee is how you actually are able to prove that, okay, you know what, I trust myself, I trust what I'm selling you, and if you don't like what I'm selling you, you get your money back, you know, as you even if you purchase things, sometimes you expect, in case you don't like the quality of whatever you've purchased, you can go back and get your money, right? Provided that you haven't wore the thing, right? But as a business owner, I think it's your responsibility to actually offer a guarantee of some kind, to just put your market at ease and just lead with integrity, basically. So, and after the guarantee said, you want to move on with the proven track record. So you've made a crazy claim, you've added a bold guarantee, amazing, but hopefully that's a guarantee, that's a claim, that's a guarantee that your market has not heard before. But now what you need to do to even instill more trust in their mind about what you just said is actually having a proven track record. So what are your results, right? And this could be your own result that you've achieved, or it could be your client result that you've helped them achieve. It doesn't really matter. If it's your own result, you want to think about, you want to talk about your journey, where you were, how you were able to achieve those results, and why you are sharing those results now. And if it's your client result, you can also talk about the transformation. Okay, we've worked with this person, they were here, and that's why we're able to help them achieve, and so forth and so on, right? So every time you make a claim, remember that you must back it up, no matter what, because as you make a claim, automatically in your prospect mind, they think, oh, that's BS. So if you back it up, results are worth their weight of gold. Like someone that people typically say, okay, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Like a result, a case study, a testimonial is worth everything, right? So, and your because your process guards are going to be up when they come across your VSL, because they're probably cold traffic. Maybe they came in from ads, they came in from outbound, they came in from some maybe partnership that you had with someone going on, whatever the case, whatever medium they came from. You want to make sure that the guard are going to be up and they might have no clue who you are, right? Don't always expect that, okay, this video is going to be seen by my warm audience who already know who I am, who know my story. No, this can be seen by anyone. And typically whenever I'm writing a VSL, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be seen by a cold audience, and I want to introduce the client, or I want to introduce myself as if I'm going to be seen by a complete stranger, right? And so that's why sharing your track record, your hero journey, it really allows you to build a lot of trust, position you as an authority in your market, and makes them stick around, right? Because ultimately we want retention. We want to get their attention, retain their attention long enough for them to consume the whole thing, and then convert them into, get them to take the action at the end of the video. So by adding this element here of the record, it's like they're like, oh wow, I see that this person has worked with tons of people, has an amazing story. Let me pay attention to what they have to say. That's the key here, right? And so one stating result, something which I love to do is actually I like to subtly handle objections, which means here, gluding from the bold guarantee, I can say something like, the reason why I can make such a bold claim, or the reason why I can make such a bold guarantee, is because look at our track record, right? We've helped XYZ achieve this result in this time frame. We've worked with this, even though they had this challenge. We've worked with this person and we help them achieve this big benefit in this time frame, even though they had done this in the past. And XYZ went from this current state, to this amazing big desired benefit in this time frame, even though they had tried, blah 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 blah. So you want to cover anywhere from 3 to 5, ideally not more than 8 client results to in this section, because ultimately remember that the VSL has to be ideally 15 to 25-minute max. You don't want it to be too long, right? And after that track record, you want to have a soft CTA, because some people are going at this stage, you are probably 5 minutes into the video. Some people are going to be ready to go. They're going to be like, you know what, I need this thing right now. How can I get it, right? Because you've sold them on who you are, your client result, your guarantee, your offer. They're like, okay, I need to learn more about this thing. Like, where's the call? Where can I schedule a call? So here's what you want to have a soft CTA where you actually ask them to go ahead and schedule a call if they want to learn more. So here how we like to do this is actually state the belief that your market needs to believe to be true for them to buy from you, right? So these beliefs are going to be, okay, I think this work, I know that this is going to be work for me. I think this is going to work for me. This specific approach is the best compared to what I've tried in the past. Coming back to our fitness coach example, okay, this is a keto diet program. In the past I've tried intermittent fasting, or I've spent hours in the gym, and so I feel like this is going to be better for me. And this person is practicing what they are preaching, so I feel like I can trust them. And also, even if I don't get the result that I don't, because I have nothing to lose, because at this stage of the VSL, they should have this belief in their head, which should make it a no-brainer for them to move forward and actually take action. Those that are already actually in buying mode, basically, right? And so you can also add any other belief that your market needs to believe before they actually buy from you, and instilling those beliefs in them in the early stages of your VSL, right? And so the way in which you actually go about phrasing your soft CTA is saying something in the lines of, you know what, if you feel like this is all you need to hear to move forward, and you're thinking, okay, I know this work, I know I need to get more calls scheduled every month, or I know I need to lose that extra couple of pounds, or so that extra 10 to 20 pounds before Christmas, and in order to actually, scale my business or to be in better health, and I know I know you've done it for yourself. I see your track record, and I know this work. Then click the button below and schedule a call, right? And again, we're not going to hard sell you on anything, because if you don't achieve the big result, we'll have to give you the big guarantee, the bold guarantee, right? So that's how you can go about phrasing the soft guarantee. Like, this work, not string attached, go ahead and schedule a call. That's the soft CTA. After the soft CTA, you want to come back and actually, because here at stage 5, most people that are always in buying mode are going to go ahead and move forward, but you're gonna have the skeptical one that are going to be like, that's still in the fence, and we want to alleviate the concern in the rest of the VSL. So step 6 is really where we want to throw hawk at common enemies, right? And so here you want to really justify their failure and let them know why what they've tried hasn't worked, right? Because again, your target market, they're smart, they're probably highly educated, they have been trying to achieve that result for the past months, years, or decades even, right? But they haven't done it. So, and it's they also haven't been sitting around thinking and just hoping for it to happen. They've probably tried different things that hasn't really worked, or they've worked at some level but not really to the extent that they hope for. And so what you want to do here is you really want to justify the failure and throw her at the enemy. So how I like to do that here is really explain why the old way, aka the current approach, is not working, right? And won't work if they keep on doing it. Because think about it, maybe your person, they want to lose weight and they haven't been able to lose weight, or they want to grow their business, they haven't been able to grow their business, or they want to manifest more money, they haven't been able to manifest more money. What have they been doing that's keeping them stuck, that they need to stop doing before they actually shift into doing whatever you are going to share with them in your program, into your offer, right? And so that's the goal of these things. So justify the failure by revealing the real problem, right? So you want to take the blame off of your prospect's shoulder and put it on the old opportunity that they've tried in the past. And so the way you do this is by actually subtly reversing your answering question and subtly reversing your answer to the question, such as how is what I'm doing unique, right? How is my offer different from what's out in the marketplace? And how can I justify my target audience failure? What are some of the missteps that they've taken in their path that have led them to where they are and that are keeping them stuck? And what's going to be the consequences if they don't frame those missteps as necessary stumbling block to get where they want to be? Because if your prospects are not empowered by their past and where they are going to be in a place where they're blaming themselves for those shortcomings, and they're going to be like, oh my god, every time I've invested, I've wasted money, so I'm not going to keep on investing in coaching or mentorship, right? Because like, oh, I keep on wasting money, I keep on getting scammed or whatever, I keep on buying into low ticket things that don't really deliver on anything. So you want to frame what they've tried as necessary steps to get where they want to be. Because now with your new opportunity, with your new vehicle, things are going to be different. That's really the thing that you want to have here in mind, right? And so you want to say, okay, the reason why your prospects have failed, you want to remember that the reason why your prospects have failed in the past is because the solution that they've tried haven't addressed the real problem. And that's not the fault, because the market has just bombarded them with a bunch of things that they've tried because they thought it was the best thing forward, but that really hasn't worked. So coming back to the fitness coaching example, right? I might say something like, okay, I know you've tried, I know maybe to try to lose weight, you've gone through, you've done intermittent fasting, you've done carnivore diet, you've spent hours in the gym working out, doing high intensity interval training, starving yourself, going on walks for hours, and nothing has really led to those that you want, because your body's not able to burn. That's not how your body burn calories, right? Or maybe you've tried cutting carb. All of those things have left you in a place where you maybe lost weight for a couple of days or even weeks, but then you went back to gaining even more weight. And here's why what we do is different. If I'm working with someone that's maybe looking to scale their business with ads, I might say, okay, I know you've tried running ads in the past, and the reason why it hasn't worked is because you keep on spending so much time trying to find the best, the spending time with the ads manager trying to find the ideal target interest, or you are launching one ad in a while, but you're not really optimizing and looking at the data to understand how to drive decision based on the result. You're not really testing new marketing angles, right? You've been trying to run ads, you've been testing different things when it comes to targeting, but you haven't really understood how to create a messaging that's going to be compelling enough to call out your ideal target audience. Because it's really not about reaching a wider audience, it's really about attracting to you the right type of client and having a messaging that might monetize them. So no matter what you sell, think, what are my client currently doing that's keeping them stuck, and highlight that here. Okay, that's very important. And so we need move then next to our unique mechanism thing, because after you've revealed them, after you share with them the old way of doing things, you want to come back and say, okay, here's how you want to do it instead. Like we had, for instance, a client that was in the freelance coaching space, and she was helping people start an SMMA business. And she would say, okay, the reason why you haven't been able to scale your business to 10K per month is because you keep on thinking that you can just rely on cold emailing. So you're scrapping leads here and there, you're sending them cold email, but no one is opening your emails, they land on spam, and you just pray and hope. You spend your days posting on Facebook group and posting content on LinkedIn, but that's not really what's going to get you those results. And so that's because she understands what her target is currently doing and highlight those things. And she's okay, if you keep on doing those things, you're not going to scale your business to 10K per month consistently. And here's what you need to do instead. Okay, so they very, very, very powerful, very, very powerful to do. And then we come to our unique mechanism. Now, the unique mechanism really has two massive purposes, right? The first one is it enables you to market to a more sophisticated audience, right? Because if your target audience has seen an offer similar to yours over and over again, chances are they are jaded. So your market is quite saturated. They've exposed to a lot of claim. Like for instance, if you are in I think the diet, the fitness space, for instance, the manifestation space, those people are even the marketing space, the target audience has been exposed to so many messages in the past. So the unique mechanism really allows you to market effectively to that sophisticated market. And secondly, it gives your prospect hope. It gives your prospect hope that even though they haven't succeeded in the past with what they've done, with your unique mechanism, they will be successful. And that's what's going to compel them to take action. And that's why highlighting those shortcomings is really key, right? And so you have one massive and primary goal in the unique mechanism section, which is really to create a simultaneous explanation as to why everything that they've tried in the past hasn't worked, and why with your system is going to be different, with your approach is going to be different. So you want really to explain why is your framework, why is your mechanism, why is your approach unique and exponentially better than anything that they've tried in the past and anything else that's on the market at the moment. And think about your direct competitor and think about your indirect competitor as well, right? Think of all the way that they can go about achieving the results that your offer delivers and why you are exponentially better than any of those options. And highlight that in your VSL. And so ideally you want to have one big reason why what you have going on is different, right? What's the absolutely key to getting them what they want? What's the key that you've unlocked that makes everything else fall into place? Okay, for instance, the losing weight example was okay. The reason why you haven't been able to lose weight is because you've tried all of these things. With keto, when you put your body in a keto state, you're able to lose more weight, blah 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 blah. So the keto thing was the unique mechanism. If I'm thinking about the kind of us that was in the freelancing coaching space, it's like, okay, the reason why you haven't been able to scale is because you keep on trying to do it a quick and dirty way, which is sending cold email, sending cold DMs, annoying your prospect, or cold calling. If you were to build a brand and send a personalized video to some whale client, you'll be able to scale a whole lot faster. That's her unique mechanism, right? And if you have a marketing agency, you can say, okay, my unique mechanism is okay. The reason why you haven't been able to scale is because you try to launch tons of ads and spend so much time on your targeting, but the reason is why you're not scaling is actually about your messaging and being able to look at data and understand what your data actually means. So think about what's the unique mechanism for your offer specifically and put that into the offer, right? And so I know this can be extremely hard to do, so you can really think, so this might take you a couple of days, to be honest. It shouldn't be something that you should just do in like, especially if you've done a massive market research and you already know what your target audience want, but this might take you a couple of iterations to actually nail, right? And moving then onward, we have the goal at the end of this explanation. When you share your unique mechanism to your prospect, they need to feel like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Now I understand why I haven't succeeded in this field in the past. I understand why I haven't been able to be successful, because this thing was missing. Okay, and so we then move on to the big proof again, because again we've said our claim, we showcase our mechanism. Now we want to restate 3 to 5 different results that are different than what you've said in the beginning. They can be different, they can be the same, but ideally I like to have different one, and that leads to my mechanism, right? So I can say, okay, that's exactly by applying this thing, that's exactly how one of our client XYZ went from current state to ultimate desired state, and it was directly by inserting mechanisms that you just explained. And another one of our clients X went from this to this by doing this thing, and yet another one had this thing, blah, 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 blah. So it's literally the same framework as what we discussed in the proof of claim earlier, which was our step which was our step 5. Yeah. So now moving on to our last step, which is step 9, is really about the CTA, strong CTA that you're gonna use to close your VSL, right? Here you really want to restate your offer, right? And again, if you don't see any type of result in your business or whatever you help them with, you don't pay, right? As previously mentioned, here is still the explanation of your guarantee, right? If you have this strong guarantee, in case it doesn't work, you get this thing. If this sounds interesting to you and you want to achieve and set ultimate desire goal, then click on the link right now on this video, apply, see if you qualify, and schedule a call. Okay. And again, we are not going to try to incentivize you to do anything that you don't want to do, because it doesn't make sense. Because if you don't achieve the desired result, we have to refund you anyway. So this is not going to be a high pressure call. It's really going to be all about learning more about your business and see if we can help you get to XYZ result. So click on the link below, schedule a call, because you only have X amount of spot for this month, and once they're gone, right? Because what we do is quite customized, and we have a small team. We can just afford 5 new clients this month or 15 new clients this month. You always want to state what your limitations are in terms of capacity, because sometimes people are thinking, how do I add urgency into my offer? I don't want to sound inauthentic by adding a false urgency or false scarcity. But the truth of the matter is, you can only serve so many clients. You can't, I assume that you won't be able to handle 100 clients if they were to come to you today, right? You are probably limited in terms of how your team capacity and how you can, even as a person, how much you can handle. So stating those things are really important to build more desire for your offer and drive those people to actually take a call and speak with you. So that, in a nutshell, how you go about writing your VSL and making it in a way that converts and drive into your sales call, into your calendar, qualified prospect that know who you are. They are vastly invested into your story, because they've invested into your story. They've taken the time to learn about you, your results, and when they get on the call with you, they're already primed and ready to go, right? One key thing about this process is also looking at the emails that comes into play after a call is scheduled, because that's really where business owner drop the ball. They have an amazing VSL that they've done, but then when it comes to actually the nurture, the email sequence that is designed to go out before a call happens, they just forget, right? So you want to have at least 4 to 5 emails scheduled to go out before a call is scheduled, or before a call happens, once a call is scheduled from the VSL. And in those emails, you really want to highlight some of your, do a deeper dive into some of your case study, and do a deeper dive into some strategies as well, so that by the time they get on the call with you, they're like, oh my god, I need to work with these guys, right? And so I can do a video doing a deep dive into how to use structure, how do you write those emails that are sales email and reminder email leading to the call. If you want to see that, let me know in the comment section. I would love to make a video for you around those things. And so I'll be on the lookout for the next episode, where we're gonna continue this conversation. If you got value from this episode, make sure to leave us a review. It always helps. It helps immensely the channel, the podcast, to be seen by more people just like you. Leave me in the comment what's your biggest takeaway from this training, and I hope you got value, and that this helps you actually scale in a way that's profitable and sustainable. I'll see you on the next one. And then if you need someone that's going to come in and help you craft this VSL in a way that's authentic to your brand voice and that's compelling, and that's going to drive those conversions for your business, and not just write the VSL, but also helping you with strategy and offer positioning and running your ads in a way that allows you to get your calendar packed with potential clients that want to actually work with you, feel free to reach out. We offer both, one-on-one session where we come more as a consultant and we help you with your backend, or we can also have a more of a done for you offer, where we actually come in and do all of the heavy lifting for you, so you can scale your business without having to spend more money or more time on marketing. So if that sounds good, make sure to reach out, and there will be a link in the description of this episode, and I will see you on the next one. Take care of yourself, and bye bye.